Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we're going to talk about PXL or maybe pxl.to. Now basically this is a way to create short links but also be able to track all the information at the same time as well, which is an absolutely brilliant thing, and also it really is a lot less cost than some of the other short link creators out there as well. Now, in terms of the video itself, if you've got any questions, then make sure you ask them in the comment box below. If you've got burning desire for something that you've been playing on your mind, then pop it in the comments and we'll try and answer it for you. And of course, don't forget, if you want a discount on the software, in most cases, we have a link in the description below. So that way you can just click on that and then you'll be able to get some kind of discount for joining up with the software. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so here we are on the app.pxl.to. Now, basically there's a free trial that you can join up with as well. So you don't have to put any credit card in or any of that information at all. And in fact, you can start using this product as the free trial. And then the pricing is very fair anyway. So if you do decide to carry on with it, obviously you would then have to put in your credit card information. But the great thing is that you get to have a test out of the software, etc. before you even go through that process. So that's the great thing about it. So first of all, you'll come into this little area here. Now, some of the things I can go through with you, but I can't show you exactly because of the fact that you will need to go to your personal domains to be able to sort them out. So there's no real point in me showing you how to do that with my domain names because it may be different for your ones, okay? But we'll kind of walk through it a little bit just for now. So basically it says welcome to Pixel and it says add a branded domain. You can add a QR code or you can create your first short link. Now, before you create your short links, it's a good idea to do the other stuff that you need to do beforehand. And the reason is because once you create your short link, essentially all you're doing is, depending on what you want to use that short link for, of course, you're basically just shortening a bigger URL. So maybe you've got facebook.com / blah 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 blah, whatever it is, to maybe a picture that you like, for example, and you want to share that maybe on Twitter or somewhere like that. Obviously the characters that you use will mean that it's a very long one and therefore the characters will get used up quickly. So if you use a short link, then simple as that, you can make a short link, which means that it's easier for people to click on, but it's not easier to remember, and that is why you might want to do this. Now basically this is adding a branded domain. Okay, now this is a little bit technical, and as I said, I'm not going to show you it right now because of the fact that I haven't added a branded domain to it at the moment, but I'm going to tell you what essentially it is. Okay, so we are in the domain section now. Now, as I said, I can't really show you how to do this because of the fact that you'll have to learn how to do this yourself because it's all to do with your specific domain. But there is a little learn how button here, and if you click on that, now I'm gonna open it in a separate page, obviously, because I don't want it to disrupt what's going on. But basically, that will open up on the same page here, and then it's got the help documents that will tell you when it loads. My internet's a little bit slow here in the back room. But it will tell you exactly how to be able to do this. Now you can do this for a couple of ways. You can do this through your CNAME settings, and there's also a way of adding it to depending on if you want to do a subdomain or what is it you want to do. But basically, if you look here, you can see how to create it, how to connect it, and all that kind of stuff. So there's a few different ways to do it. As I said, you can connect it to your root domain, you can do it with a subdomain, so you would either use a CNAME or you would use your DNS to be able to do that. Now, that will be different in different what's the word I'm looking for? Dashboards, I suppose, depending on which provider you are using for your not for your internet, but for your domain name. Okay, so for either your domain name or your hosting, whichever one you have to go into there, maybe it's the same thing. In my case, it's the same thing. I'll get my domain names and my hosting from the same place. So all I would do is I would go into their cPanel or I go into their admin, no matter what they call it, essentially, and then I would do these things. So all you have to do is click on that help document, and then also the good thing about this is that this is something that your hosting provider will know how to do as well. So if you do have any issues with it, all you have to do is go and see them and they will sort it all out for you, basically. Now, why would you want to do this? Now, the reason to do this, as I said, I can't add a domain in there at the moment, but the reason you want to do this is because you would want to do, instead of having, you know, like if we go now, let's go quickly to the beginning page again, basically. And then if we say create our first short link, okay, so this is what's going to happen. Up here you can see this is what it will be. So it will be pxl.to, so pxl.to /82k408j. Now that's just random, isn't it? It's just a random thing to have. So therefore what you can do instead is you can create your branded domain, which means that every link can be branded. So for instance, instead of having this pxl.to blah blah blah, whatever it is, you could actually have whatever your domain is. So let's say your domain is 123.com, for example. You could have 123 / and then depending on what you wanted, so say you wanted to send it to a Facebook page, you could have it as 123 / Facebook. And then that way your domain is actually part of that link. So not only does it mean that it's obviously branded, so therefore people get to know more about your business, but also it makes it really simple to remember rather than it being 82k408j, which nobody in their right mind is going to remember. So therefore you can use it that way. Or obviously the only thing is if you put that into Twitter, then you're essentially putting a bigger website in there again. So I suppose depending on whether you want the characters to be as minimal as possible or whether you just want it to be a branded thing, then that's what you'll choose. Okay, now you've got destination here, so you would put your destination. So in this case, let me just put facebook.com, and you would probably have to put the HTTP and all that kind of stuff as well. You've got the QR template, which is basic, so you can change that. That's the default there. I believe you can, you can. It probably, if you pay extra as well, you can get different templates, that kind of thing. This is your tag section. Now, the reason I said that you will put all this in is because at the moment I've got a few tags here. So I've got reviews, videos, and YouTube. So let's just put the tag of YouTube. This is just really so that you can find it personally yourself. And then you've got your pixels. Now, this is your targeting pixel. Okay, now I haven't told you about this yet, which I will tell you about in just a second, but basically this is something you would set up before you create your short link, okay? And the reason for the targeting pixel is essentially, have you ever, when you've been surfing around Facebook or something, maybe you would go to a website, okay? So let's say you go to 123.com, okay? And on 123.com, they sell hot tubs, as an example. Okay, so you go to that site, you're looking around their hot tubs, and you think, oh, I might want one of those, but I'll come back later. So then you click off that page, and then you're surfing around on Facebook, later on next week or something like that, and then all of a sudden there'll be an advert for hot tubs that will pop up from either 123.com or maybe it will come from 12345.com, whatever. There will be an advert there for hot tubs, normally from the place you visited. And you might be thinking, wow, Facebook are clairvoyant. They somehow know that I've been to that site. Well, that's not true. What it is it's a thing called a pixel, which is basically embedded in that website, which lets Facebook know as soon as that person goes there, it kind of logs them in a way, which is not great for privacy, but obviously, people have to allow it in order to be able to use Facebook, and it kind of logs them in so that way, when they go to another site where there's a possibility that adverts are being shown to them, it detects that they've been to that site and they might be interested in what you're trying to advertise and therefore will push your advert to them. So basically what it is, it's a way of tracking what people do. So you can add your pixel to this so that if somebody clicks on it, then that means that your adverts will be shown to them more often, etc, etc. So that's one way of doing that, and that's your pixel. And then of course you would just save it down here, and then what happens is then you've got, so now this will go to Facebook thingy. So if I was to put in PXL, there it is there, this one here, if I was to click on that, so let's do that, let's open it in the new tab, and you'll see that it actually goes, look, you'll see it will do a redirect and it will go straight to Facebook instead of it going to that thing there. So there you go, so straight to Facebook. I'll close that down before it opens because I don't want you seeing my Facebook page. So therefore, so that's that basically. So that's your short link essentially that you can make. Now there's different things that you can do here. The great thing is that you can track the analytics of every link that you do. So when you do a link, you can track how many visitors, how many clicks, and all this kind of good stuff just here. And you can have a little navigate around here. You can see how many yesterday, how many in 7 days, all that kind of thing, and it will create a graph for you to let you know how many clicks and visitors you're getting from this link. So basically you can track all the analytics for that, which is a great thing as well. So you're not just putting putting the links out willy-nilly, you'll be able to use these links and track them. This is the pixels part just here. This is the bit that I said you would probably have to sort out beforehand, and that basically is all you would do is you go over to here and you add a pixel. You would put the platform that you're using, so let's just pretend we're using Facebook. Obviously you've got pixels for different ones. You've then got the pixel identifier. You would usually get that from the admin panel of your Facebook or whatever, and then you would name your pixel and then you would add your pixel. So basically when you then do your short link, you can, if you have your pixel here in the actual the data section, which I'll just move my mouse around there so you can see, it will come up there. That's where your pixel will be. You will be able to add that to your link as well. You saw that section in there anyway. This bit here, this is your tags. So I've already added 3 tags just so that you can see, but you can basically create as many tags as you want, and obviously this will be depending on what you want to put, and this is for you to find it, and also, you know, just so that you can quickly just have tags on your videos essentially. And then you've got here, you've got the domain section. Now this is where you would add your custom domain. So as I said here, you've got your learn how there, and you've got your add domain. All you would do is you would type in your domain up the top there, and then you would add domain, and then it comes up with the so let's go with 123.com. Now it's not going to let me do this, I don't believe, because I have to point my CNAME or my DNS towards it in the first place. So I have to do all that. You see, look, it says could not add new domain. Domain is not currently pointing to pxl.to. So you need to do all that stuff beforehand before creating your short links. Okay, so just bear that in mind when you're thinking of doing this. If you are going to create a a domain that you want to use, then you go create your domain, get your CNAME or your DNS, however you want to do it. In the you can do the learn how button just there, as I said, and you can see exactly how to do it step by step. And then of course you can create a QR code as well. So now QR code, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like a little thing, looks like little blocky text, essentially blocky text, like blocky what's the word for it? I suppose little blocks, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. And what happens is you can scan it using the QR scanner. Now, if you're on Android, you would have to download one individually, but most people have them on their phones anyway. It was one of those things that came out quite a while ago. Not many people really used them, but people are starting to get more into them now. And also, if you, if you have it on a business card or if you have it on whatever you have it on, then people can just scan it and go straight to your information rather than having to take your business card, go to your website, that kind of thing. So that's the great thing about QR codes, in my opinion. In terms of the actual thing itself, you've got your preferences there, so you can change those around. You've got your profile, so you'll be able to add to your profile, add picture and all that kind of stuff if you want to. You've got your team. So in this one, if you want to, you can add a team. So you would click on this, and then if you want to add team members, then you can simply add their email and their name and invite the user. And then of course you've got your settings just here, your admin panel, and your billing as well, because remember this is it's a free trial at first, but then after that it does go into a paid plan. So depending on which plan you choose, then you would have to choose which billing information you have. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the pxl.to. It's a great piece of software. Essentially, there are other ones out there on the market that can shorten links, and I've used a few of them myself. Now, I know some of them are a lot more expensive than this for a start, and also some of them just don't have analytics, which I think is a great thing about this one, is that you can track everything you need to do, because there's nothing worse than, seeing, say you've got a YouTube video and you want to, YouTube automatically has analytics in it anyway. So, and they're a great thing to look at to check who's clicking on the video, where they come from, all that kind of thing. Well, you can do exactly the same thing with just general links. So rather than just giving someone your website and then them going off, and you're not, you might have to go into your program itself, whatever you're using. Maybe you're using WordPress or whatever, there's some analytics there or something like that. Well, this way you can give them a custom link and you can check who's going to which one, and you can use as many custom links as you want for the same thing. So you could essentially change that custom link for maybe a competition or something like that. So you could put 123.com/competition, and then you send that out to people, and then you can track exactly who is using that link to get to your website. And then that way you can see how successful that competition is. And if you wanted to, you can have another one that's, you know, competition number 2, and you send that to other people, and therefore you can do like an A/B, check-in to see which one works better, essentially, and see which wording you're using works better, and all that sort of stuff. So there's great ways to use that analytics as well, and of course you've got your branding as well, which is absolutely brilliant, because, you know, a lot of the other ones that you can get the, you know, the basic thing like we've got there, like the, you know, the TXOPQRXZ or whatever, and then they click on it, but to actually have it branded as like www.123/competition, it is a lot better, because you don't need to create a completely separate page on your website. You don't have to know about website information or anything like that. You can literally just create that branded link inside this link generator. It will generate that link, and then it will send them to wherever you want it to be. So maybe you've got a competition that you're running on Instagram. Maybe you've got a competition you're running on Facebook or something like that. Rather than having to try and create all these weird things, you literally just create one link and it goes straight to that page that you want it to go to. Well, there you are. That was my little review of the pxl.to. So hopefully you found it informative. If you did enjoy it, then make sure to like and subscribe for more information and more, you know, reviews on things that you can use in your business and your personal life as well. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.